All right, looks like it's gonna. So I'm gonna share, get a whiteboard up here, and we'll see. And hopefully this is recording. I'll find out in about 5 minutes. Either way, you'll get a walkthrough, so that's fine. All right, so we are doing this particular ramp problem has a mass of 30 kilograms and an angle. No, excuse me. I already messed up. How about that? Who'd have thought? I wrote a wrong number on the board. So it has a mass of 50 kilograms and an angle of 30 degrees. So the first thing we want to do is just kind of draw it so we kind of know what's going on here. So we got a mass here, and that mass is 50 kilograms. And this angle is 30 degrees. All right, so there's our problem. Well, what we want to know is how fast is this going to accelerate? So what we're going to need to do, we know we have gravity pulling straight down, but we know it's on a ramp, so it's going to have part of that gravity is going to get broken up. Oh, I shouldn't use green. I'm already using green. All right, so the gravity is going to get broken up into two pieces. It's going to get broken. Part of that gravity is going to be used to push that down the hill, right? And then part of that gravity is going to be used to push this into the surface of the ramp, right? And then the equal and opposite reaction to that is going to be the normal force. So then the thing we need to figure out, we need to break those two up. And this right there is also going to be the same as this. And we're going to call that the force of sliding, because that's what I like to call it. And I'm the one doing this. And we're going to call this the normal force, because that's the force that's perpendicular and pressing straight into, well, it's the force of gravity on the slide, and the normal force is the one pushing back up. But they're equal and opposite, so it works fine. So the first thing we have to do is, we got the force of gravity, right? We have this, the hypotenuse of this triangle is the force of gravity. So the first thing we can do is figure out the force of gravity, right? This is a right triangle, just so we remember. So the force of gravity on this 50 kilogram block equals the mass times the acceleration due to gravity. So the force of gravity equals 50 kilograms times 9.81. So the force of gravity on this here block is 50 times 9.81 equals, that looks awfully familiar, like we've done this problem before. That's all right. 490.5 newtons. So that's our force of gravity. So that's our hypotenuse, right? So the next thing we have to do is figure out either our sliding force or our normal force. So let's do the sliding force, I guess. So the sliding force, and actually in this particular problem, all we have to do is figure out the sliding force because it's frictionless. So the normal force, we don't have to take the normal force into account. All we're looking for is how much force is being applied to the block to push it down. We're going to figure out the normal force anyway because it's part of the problem, and because as soon as we have friction, you will have to know the normal force. But the force of sliding. So the thing we have to remember is that this angle here equals this angle here. So that angle is also going to be 30 degrees. That looks like an 8. Redo that. Let's see. 30 degrees. I guess that's a little bit better. All right, so we remember our trig functions. No, you never get away from them. Sorry. So, ka, toa, right? And since we're figuring out the force of sliding, that's going to be this. No, I just did that wrong. That's going to be this, because the O stands for opposite, right? Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. And we know the hypotenuse, right? So for the force of the sliding, it's going to be the sine of the angle equals the force of sliding over the force of gravity. So it's going to be the force of gravity times the sine of the angle equals the force of the sliding. The force of gravity we already figured out. That's 490.5. And then we need the sine of 37 degrees is the force of the sliding. So 490, I'm going to run out of room. Maybe I'm not. 490.5 times the sine of 37 degrees. Sine of 37 degrees. Make sure your calculator's on degrees, not radians. Unless you want to do radians, that's fine. But here we're doing degrees. That's going to be...
Wait.
Point. I'm sorry?
So for sine, isn't it supposed to be 30, not like 37?
Yes. Yes, it is. Well, that'll make a great recording, won't it? Where did I get... Did we do 37 yesterday or something? That's just crazy. Why would I write 37? I'm glad you're watching, though. That's awesome. Yeah, that should be 30. All right. So, thank you, and back to this. Clear, sine 30. The sine of 30 degrees is 0.5. 0.5 we'll put in, I guess. So, our force of sliding is 490.5 times 0.5. Our force of sliding is 245.25 newtons. And we're just going to figure out the other force, the component that's perpendicular, just because it'll be quite simple now. So there, and then all that's going to be, and we're going to skip a step. We're just going to go straight to the force of gravity, and that normal force, the one perpendicular that's pushing right into the surface of the ramp, that's going to be cosine, because that's the adjacent leg of this little right triangle we set up, right? So, So that's going to be Fg, the force of gravity, times the cosine of the angle. It's going to equal the normal force. So it's going to be 490.5 times the cosine of, thank you, 30 degrees. It's just, why did I write 37? I do not know. I'm not even 37 years old. I'm much older than that. So where'd that number come from? All right, 490.5 times the cosine of 30 degrees. Cosine, clear. Cosine 30 degrees is 0.8660 equals 490.5 times 0.8660 equals 424.8 newtons. All right, so let's just stop for a moment and ask ourselves if that answer makes sense. And we're looking at this angle and it's 30 degrees. If the angle was 45 degrees, the force trying to push the block down the slide would equal the normal force, because 45 degrees is halfway between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, right? So if it's 90 degrees, all the force would be the normal force. And if it was, if it's 0 degrees, all the force would be the normal force. And if it's 90 degrees, then there's no force pushing it into the surface of, well, it's not really a ramp if it's 90 degrees. But you take the thing, if the ramp goes all the way up to 90 degrees, then the thing is falling straight down and there's no force pushing it into the ramp. So that would all be the force of sliding. So it's 30 degrees. So it's below 45, so we expect the normal force to be bigger than the sliding force. So there we go, that works. That works. Now, the last piece of this is to figure out the force of to figure out the acceleration of the sliding. So we'll put this over here. So the final question is the original question. How fast will this block accelerate on a frictionless ramp? And that takes us back to F equals ma, right? And this time we want the a, so we're going to take the force, whatever's left of it, right, which is the force of sliding, divided by the mass of the object, is going to give us the acceleration. So the force of the sliding is 245.25. We're going to divide that by the mass, 50 kilograms. And this will either be correct or it will be an embarrassing teacher moment and I will delete the video. Divided by 50.
4.905.
Yep, 4.905 meters per second squared. Now the answer on the chart said 4.903, I think. And that a 1,000th of a meter per second squared is close enough. That's a small enough amount that it has to do probably with the computer that I used is using many more than 4 decimal places for the trig functions, which I told you are very sensitive. So if you get something very close, like 4.905 versus 4.903, you have the correct answer. So that's the video. I'm going to go back to the other screen just to double check, because I already wrote one number wrong. Let's see. All right, and 4.903. Yeah. So there it is. I'm going to stop the video now and